Thanks for inviting us in on this Thursday night. $800 million. That's the tab IPS is asking taxpayers to pick up to fund their Rebuilding Stronger plan. Over the last few hours, Rachel Krause has been listening and talking with school leaders, figuring out how this would work and what it's going to cost you. So let's get right out to her tonight. Rachel, this meeting was definitely a long one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it actually went on for about 4.5 hours. We actually just left that meeting about 15 minutes or so ago, but this was an important meeting for a lot of people around the district. It's a decision that'll impact thousands of IPS families. So IPS is planning on asking for millions of dollars in referendum funding for its Rebuilding Stronger plan. So let's break down what that's going to mean for you. The money covers costs to consolidate K-8 schools into a traditional elementary and middle school model and upgrade buildings. And they also want to increase extracurricular and educational opportunities for all students. So how are they planning on paying for everything? First, they'll be asking for a $410 million capital referendum to pay for school buildings and improvements. Second, they want an operating referendum. That will give the school $50 million every year through 2031. That would pay for the educational opportunities and teacher salaries here.
So, Rachel, one of the big questions families are probably asking tonight is how much is this referendum going to cost and how are they going to cover this?
Yeah, and Scott, we asked the district about that, and they say that the cost here really isn't that exponential. Most families would pay an additional $6 a month on average. And IPS School Board President Evan Hawkins says that would cover the needed facilities changes and improvements in this plan. He says IPS believes it is past time to invest in the kids of the district.
For us, we want to be sensitive. We're in a world where we see inflation. We're in a world where we see property or assessed values increasing, and so we want to be very sensitive to that. But we see this as an opportunity to invest in our kids because, you know, we think about all these environmental factors that are happening without investing in our kids and creating the opportunities for them to be successful and be contributing members, proud contributing members of our society in the future. That's what it's about.
And now the Rebuilding Stronger plan, it's caused a lot of controversy for families and teachers who are worried about potential negative impacts to the plan and an increase in racial disparities. So we talked with a math teacher who's also the VP of Indy's Education Association, who says teachers want to make sure that IPS is listening to their concerns.
Some of IEA's biggest concerns had to do with, one, how any sort of staffing relocation was going to happen, right? We've done this as a district before. We've had high school closings, we've done consolidations. And so we've done things well in the past and we've done some things really wrong, right? And with something that's going to be such at a large scale, we feel very strongly that educators should be at the table helping make these decisions.
So, Rachel, IPS made some changes to this Rebuilding Stronger plan, right, based on some community feedback?
Yeah, and Scott, one of those changes is they're actually going to be adding a STEM school to one of these new school zones that wasn't planned on having one before, and that came directly from feedback that they got from the community. And IPS, the teachers and a lot of community members, they want more chances to weigh in to IPS on the Rebuilding Stronger plan and potential other changes that could be made before the board is expected to vote on November 17th.
And we're going to be following this every step of the way. Rachel, thanks for this live report tonight.
You know, we've seen concern from several teacher and parent groups about the changes IPS is considering for this Rebuilding Stronger plan. In fact, earlier this month, parents sent a letter to the district saying the plan does not meet the needs of Black and Brown students. They shared some data showing only 5% of Black IPS students passed both sections of the iLearn assessment. And for Latino students, it was just below 8%. So the letter recommended IPS partner with local charter schools that have shown strong academic results for underserved populations. Now, those same parents say there are parts of the plan that they do like. For instance, they like the preschool expansion, along with more special education funding. They also like the building upgrades and dual language offerings as well. But they say they won't support the full plan until those equity gaps are addressed. We have a link to the full letter and a breakdown of the Rebuilding Stronger plan posted right now for you on WTHR.com.